Hi and welcome to the Malat cookery channel. So in this video we're doing onion rings from scratch. So today I'm actually making southern fried chicken melts, which is basically a panini sandwich. And if you want to see how to make that, just click in the right hand corner of the screen now and that will take you to that video. But as one of the sides, I'm going to be making onion rings from scratch. So that's what this video is about. As usual, a full list of ingredients will be given at the end of the video. So let's have a look at those ingredients now and anything else we're going to need for today. So the ingredients for our onion rings couldn't be any easier. I've taken a large white onion and sliced it quite thickly and then taken the first 3 or 4 outer rings of the slices for our onion rings. 100 grams of plain or all-purpose flour, 150 milliliters of water which I've placed into the freezer for half an hour just to get nice and cold. And I did a recipe for homemade fish and chips where I showed what I call my secret recipe for a very light and crisp batter. This is exactly the same, but in that particular recipe I go into a little bit more detail as to how these two additives, when we add them to the water and the flour, actually work to create this really crisp and light batter. So if you want to see the homemade fish and chips recipe, and it explains, as I said, a little bit more detail as to how these work, and just click in the top right hand corner now of the screen and that banner will take you to that particular video. So as well as our flour and water, for this batter we also half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda and half a teaspoon of citric acid. So the first job we need to do is to mix the flour, water, citric acid and bicarbonate of soda together in a bowl, which I've done. So I've whisked this until I've got rid of all of the lumps. And I just want to show you what happens with that citric acid and bicarbonate of soda when it's added to the water and flour. So as you can see, there's a lot of bubbles in there. It produces a really light and crisp batter, and that's down to the fact that it produces a lot of carbon dioxide, so it aerates the batter quite significantly. So we've got our deep fat fryer set to 180 degrees centigrade, so it's just coming up to temperature now. And then it's just a case of taking our aerated batter, dipping in the onion rings, make sure they're well coated, shake off any excess, and then just push them in away from you. Now these onion rings will take about 3 minutes on either side, 2 to 3 minutes on either side. So now these are done, I've got a plate with some kitchen paper to absorb any excess fat. These are going to be placed into a warmed oven just while I do the rest of the onions. So that's it, onion rings from scratch, embarrassingly easy to do. Please subscribe to the channel, and as usual, if you've enjoyed this particular video, hit that like button. Thank you very much for watching.